The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
Hello.
Alright, so, I'm not gonna lie. There have been some technical difficulties with me trying to actually make this video. So this is technically the third time I'm gonna be doing this. First time I did it, I got this far. Second time, I deleted that save file already. So I'm just gonna start up a new game, and we're just gonna get as far as we can get, really. I hate that I have to restart this multiple times, because it's not gonna be the same thing, because it's not gonna be basically a blind playthrough. Plus, like, some genuinely good moments are now just basically lost forever, either because of the game not having audio, which was my own fault, or the game footage itself being corrupted, which, that's not my fault entirely. Rather, my laptop is getting old. What a relief. I'm not going to be doing falsetto for female voices. But I will read through dialogue as it appears in the game. I thought you'd never wake up. You were tossing and turning. What? Zelda? No, my name's Marin. You must still be feeling a little woozy. You're on Koholint Island. So basic premise as you saw, and really all that we got when this game was first released, and even in its first remaster, because technically this is the second remaster of the game. The first remaster was like 3-4 years later for the Game Boy Color. I had that one. I never actually beat it. I think when I was younger I just never really learned how to save. So I believe the furthest I've ever gotten is the third dungeon, in which I believe I got to the mid-boss, which I think requires bombs. Ran out of bombs, quit, and never came back. So anyway, totally not Mario, because his name is Tarin, so obviously not Mario. But all the same, I'm going to be using his the voice of Mario from back in like 1993-ish, which wasn't actually Charles Martinet. He didn't come around until Mario 64. Originally, Mario's from Brooklyn. Bet y'all didn't know that. Or you might have, who knows. Well, Link, you finally snapped out of it. Name's Tarin. Hope you're feeling better. What? How'd I know your name? You think it's weird, eh? Well, it is weird. I mean, well, I saw it on the back of this shield. Wow. I got my shield back. Nice that I had that, you know, pre-engraved. Oh yeah, tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. Follow the lane south to reach the beach where I found you. Since you washed ashore, lots of nasty monsters have been in the area, so be careful, okay? Oh no, what a coincidence. It's almost like they need an adventurer to stop these monsters. Pardon me. So, real quick, just a first glance at this right outside the house. I mean, even in the house, like just to go back for a second, this looked so empty in the Game Boy Color. There were like none of these details, there were no pictures, there weren't flowers, or I don't know why you would grow a palm tree indoors, but like none of this stuff. There was like maybe a table, the beds were here, that was it. There was no extra detail. Because I mean it was a tiny little game, you figure that probably fit, like there are probably Word documents now that are larger than that game was in its entirety. And that's just kind of insane to think about. This game is almost 6 gigabytes, so I really have to wonder, like, yeah, they've got all sorts of models and textures and animations and such. But I wonder how much of it is actually, you know, how much of it is that and how much of it might be new content or, like, new AI patterns. Because one thing I've noticed in the botched attempts to film this, were that the AI is a lot more improved than way in the past. And another thing that I've noticed that I do want to point out, in the original game, everything was kind of in a grid system. You could still kind of see the remnants of the grid system, but like if I wanted to go from here down to this telephone house, there'd be like a barrier right here almost, the side of the screen. You would walk up against it and the entire screen would shift to this grid point, go right over here towards the Trendy Game. It would do the same thing, and it was just like that for the entire game. Now it all just flows. That was a change out. And I just love how easily and fluidly it flows. I also love not having to take a half-second... Oh, cool, front flips. I love not having to take half a second to, like, walk up against the wall and jump down. Now, here's a question. that I have asked now for the third time. I thought these were supposed to be sea urchins in the original game. They look like Gordos from Kirby now. Wonder which one's the right one. Ah, a sword. And with the sword comes Exposition Owl, who I've given the voice of Sean Connery. Hoot hoot, so you are the lad who owns a sword. Now I understand why the monsters are starting to act so violently. You know, not because they're monsters or anything, but just because you're here. You suck. You've turned this entire island against us. I can't believe you've done this. A courageous lad has come to wake the windfish. It is said that you cannot leave the island unless you wake the windfish. You should now go north to the mysterious forest. I will wait for you there to give you your next instruction. Don't worry, I'll be here the entire game. Hoot hoot! Yeah, it's gonna happen a lot. You found your sword. It must be yours because your name is engraved on it. Now, I gotta wonder, was that like a thing in medieval times to have your name engraved on weaponry and armor? Because I don't actually know, but that would be interesting to find out. Like, was stuff personalized beyond general, like, hey, this is how this looks? Like, this is my style, this is me in a stylistic form. Or if people, like, actually, like, engrave their names on swords and such. It would be interesting to figure out. Alright. So, Mysterious Forest is next, but first off, there's a couple things I want to get. But to get those things, I need money. And the best place for money, like, I remember way back when this first came out and I was playing it, I would be farming this little quadrant for, oh geez, there goes a no damage run. Fox went into that real fast. Secret Seashell. I believe in the original game you got enough of these, you got a sword, but you only need like 20 something of them. I don't remember if there was one in this field or not before. Alright, 20 roops. That's hopefully more than enough. Because let me tell you, I've not had the best luck with this thing. Trendy Game! He's so excited about it. Alright, up. And let's just get this here, 50. Yeah, the rupees are fine. The piece of heart, generally fine. It's the Yoshi that's not fine. The big Yoshi. So I'll get the things I know I can get first. And honestly, like, this game is like the only reason that I may not love the fact that there's a physics engine in this. Because, like, it's cool to actually have, but at the same time, it's just like, it has now made that Yoshi, like, powers of 10 harder to actually acquire. What a rare find, even though it's, you know, part of a crane game. Alright, big Yoshi. Give to me. You're kidding me. Perfect first try. Perfect first try. That took me so many tries the first 2 times. I can't believe I got it the first try! Wow! I guess if you nail it, like, dead center, that you just get it, but still, jeez! And just to save time, I'm just gonna say, those kids, they're all named Kid. Seriously, one's Kiddo, one's Junior. One's Laddie, and I forget the 4th one. But it's just like, really? You're that uninspired to name your own children that you just name them basically child? What, are your names like Mama and Papa? Plot twist, they actually are. Alright. Keep getting the things I know I can get. It's funny how, like, all the neat prizes are sitting still, while the two prizes that you really don't need to aim for are the hardest ones to get because they're on the moving platforms. Also, I seem to remember... Oh, I screwed this up. Oh, I really screwed this up. Or maybe I didn't. Will the physics cause it to fall? Yep. Can we just, like, rotate the claw, like, 45 degrees? That'd be nice. Just kinda, you know, so that the seashell doesn't slip out the side, considering this thing only moves in lateral direct. You're kidding me! Alright, well, I got 2 more shots to get that seashell. I got a red rubies. And a chow chow. Yeah, I've always wondered, are rupees like their own mineral? Or is it like already known minerals like red rupees are rubies, blue rupees are sapphires, etc.? It's never really explained, and I've always wondered. Oh, you're kidding me. You're joking. Just pick up the seashell so I can have it. I probably should have left that so I could have gotten a purple rupee. Alright, this is like almost dead center. Alright, grab that. Don't you dare slip out the side. Hey. Not challenging again. I can anyway. I'm actually out of money now. Alright, well that seashell gave me more problems, but nothing else really has. So that's good. I just need another 10 and then I can get another 5 shots. Cleaning house at the Trendy Game. Hopefully I didn't just screw up the purple rupee. Okay, I didn't. I got a fish. And a piece of art. There's really no reason not to just cast all the way out. Especially considering the other thing to get there, you can see all the way to the very bottom. What is it with Zelda games and having empty bottles just, like, at the bottom of the fishing zone? Is it like a... Is it like a pollution segue? Not segue. Aesop? I think that's what it's called. We're just gonna scoot this along the bed of the pond. Until it's pretty much just a straight shot and there's no chance the fish to try and mess it up. There's a strategy to actually get in this bottle. Oh, come on. You're kidding me. I will say, though, it took me until like the 3rd time of actually doing this minigame to realize that tapping A lets you reel it in faster. There we go. There's the bottle. Nope. All done. Alright, enough sidetracks. Let's get back into the plot. Just kidding. We're gonna fall down the well. Game over. End of playthrough. Nah, just kidding. So this really is like a terrible well. There's almost no water in it. And why? Okay, so there's a staircase in a well. That just means that enough people have fallen down that well that they figured it'd be easier to just put in a staircase. Oh, actually, before I forget, even though I want to keep Big Yoshi, I must unfortunately give it away to the man whose name is Papa and the mom whose name is Mama, because that makes sense. Especially like the thing he says. Those are my boys. I'm Papa. Pleased to meet you. I'll be lost in the hills later, so keep a lookout for me here. But why are you lost in the hills? Don't be lost in the hills, you idiot. Why would you just... He's literally just abandoning his entire family. Alright, so got that. Got a ribbon. Also, invest in protection. I mean, I guess you're the only people who are actually trying to populate the island. But bruh. Just... bruh. Anyway. So now we gotta go talk to Chow Chow. And get a can of dog food. Full of juicy beef. Ah, man, I haven't had dinner yet. I know I don't want dog food, but, you know, burger sounds pretty dang good right about now. And I've got the little figurine, so we'll just place that right there. How nice. I know one thing, old lady Yahoo up there ain't gonna do it. Alright, listen here, Croco. Take that can and eat it. And give me some of those bananas. I'm sorry that I'm not reading the dialogue. I'll get better with that in future areas. I'm really just trying to get this all done as fast as possible because I've done it twice now already. Like, this seems very, like, objective-based and that I, like, know what I'm doing. That's just because I've done this several times already within these past couple days. Things will probably get a lot more slower paced once I get back to unfamiliar areas. And here we are with the mysterious forest. Everything's all spooky and foggy. And it's the owl again. Hoot, ho, brave lad, on your quest to wake the dreamer. Welcome to the mysterious forest. Much of mystery you'll find on this uncharted Coholent Island. Like this forest. Of mystery. That's mysterious. I'm afraid you might find it a trifle difficult to leave the island while the windfish naps. I could just build a raft. There's trees. I know I can build a boat. By the by, have you ever visited the Tail Cave, which is south of the village? No particular reason. In fact, a boy your age probably shouldn't go to Tail Cave. Wait until you're 18. Go there with a key you find in this forest. If you really want to go, they don't really have a policy against it. So the windfish is watching. Hoot! I gotta get back to Tail Cave. They're waiting for me. Ho 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 ho. Got moblins with their spears. Even though I'm pretty sure they were just supposed to be arrows in the first game. Or the original, I should say. The one thing I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't do was not just like make it a collection of all three of the Game Boy Color games. Because they're not really short. But I kind of figured that like all of them at the same time, just under one title. Oh jeez. The Guardian Acorn. Yeah, that's probably gonna happen a lot. 50 rupees. Nice. But yeah, at least in the original game, or not at least, but at least in this version, I should say, the music isn't horrendous. In the original game, it was just like high-pitched, chiptune, just, I don't want to call it an abomination, but it's kind of a relic of its time, because it's pretty much like, this is the Superstar theme. It's just like a 3 to 4 second loop of a high-pitched chiptune. Not nearly as bad if you didn't. I have sealed myself within these caverns, but the future refused to change. It's weird how it's almost like a kind of a oh dang it, another one. I guess I can't really complain. That those things can be really useful. Oh, whoops, wasn't paying attention. Now see, in the original game, because of its grid-based system, if you talk to that Tanuki, you pretty much just get sent to a different area. And then, like, all these different grid points just shuffle. So with this remake, you're kind of missing out on that old point of just, like, this is this. Even though I'm actually lost because I remember going that way before to get to the witch's hut. I know I don't go past the raccoon. Do I go up? No? What the heck? Oh, hey, it's got a marker system. Neat. Oh, okay. You can replay the owl speeches. I've not actually checked out the pause menu here. That's neat. I don't think I'll ever do that, but useful for if you ever do actually forget what you need to do, where you need to go. What's also nice is that in the Game Boy Color games, there's generally a reason to collect rupees, because enough of them and you'll get... Because there's some expensive stuff in these games. And it's something that, like, the 3D Zeldas never really managed to get right, in my opinion. Sleepy Toadstool! That's my magic spell! There you go! Here's your... magic dust. Sorry, magic powder. Still. Like, come on. Yes, yes. Thank you, witch. Witch, old witch, the wicked witch. Anyway, you can change him, and then he won't shock you if you attack him. He also gives you hints if you talk to him for, music. Nothing specific, just pretty much that the songs exist. The soundtrack sounds so much better when it's not like just like super, like, crushed to bits. You know, let's just see exactly what happens if I cut all these and then do that. Then he goes crazy and starts spinning around. Look at him go! It's tearing. The last thing I can remember was biting into a big juicy toadstool. Then I had the darndest dream. I was a raccoon. Yeah, it sounds strange, but sure was fun. Sounds like you got on a bit of a bender with the princess last night. Tail key. And it's funny, because when you can't really tell the difference between the colors of all the things, that kind of just looks like a head wearing a hat. At least that's what I thought when I was younger and got it for the first time. Ooh, take the key and go to the tail cave. Retrieve the instrument that is hidden there. Go now. Don't ask what they do with it. Just take it. The windfish is waiting. Ooh! Yeah, alright, Gramps. I'm going to Tail Cave. Just give me a bit to get there. I'm taking this chicken. What happens if I... Oh. Also, this island has a real sinkhole problem. I mean, look at them all. They're everywhere. That's very dangerous. Somebody should be filling those in. Anyway, here we are, Tail Cave. So, just because I already know about this, I'm just going to say this right off the bat. I love how they redesigned at least this dungeon. Because it looks like a cave now. It looks like just a natural cave system that somebody, like, put up a bunch of weird statues and maybe hollowed out, put in a door here and there. It looks like it's almost natural. And then they just filled it with monsters. For whatever reason. Got a small key. Always begs the question, who exactly makes all these keys that are only useful one time? I know it's a theory that's been theorized to death and back. But you gotta wonder. Also, I love like the top-down perspective as just a nod to both the original game and even Zelda 1. And also, like, they started off the dungeon exactly how it started out in how, like, the dungeons worked back then, where, like, you can see the grid-based, like, go into one room, and everything shifts to follow it. Rat on me bones! I'm gonna think of it, it's almost October. It's almost spooky time. And also just, what an odd door. The fact that Link is, like, the perfect fit for that. It's like, what is this, Junji Ito? Amygdala Fault or whatever it's called? Amygdala? That's Bloodborne. Kill the things, get a treasure chest. What's it gonna be? It's money. It's almost like I've done this before. I wonder what could be here. I bet it's this. It is. And Spinies. That's weird. Oh, they probably have some other weird Zelda name because of them being here. Also, they didn't look like Spinies on the Game Boy Color. Maybe they just couldn't figure out a way to... Okay, these are just straight up Goombas, though. Just straight up Goombas. Hey, don't do that. Straight up Goombas. Ah, man, these side-scrolling things, like... I'm like so used to like checking walls and Voice, please. I'm so used to checking walls and side-scrollers for secrets. Alright, Rock's Feather. Whoosh. I so much prefer the ability to have my sword and shield available at all times. I don't have to sacrifice one to use the necessary equipment. Like the Rock's Feather. I also really love the detail of, like, the jump slash. How it's a vertical swing. Like, it's something so small they didn't have to do, but they did it anyway. So there's one room in this dungeon I can't get to because I need bombs. But that just means it's unimportant to actually finish the dungeon. And it's so weird because, like, I can recognize this as the dungeon it used to be. But it looks so different that I almost think it's new. Even though I know it isn't. Alright. Look at me through this door! It's another room. With a skeleton. The skeleton has been removed. I got these guys. So I'm going spades. Got him. Stone Beak. It's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make it. In fact, who did make it? Who hollowed out this cave and put all these owl statues in here? I bet it was this guy. Huh, no, like, taunt or, like, noise or anything. He's just like, hey, by the way, this guy's here. And there we go. 4 hits. But that is a fairy. And a fairy means an extra life. Oh yes, the place where the boss can push you down into. I do recall this. And yeah. Those hanging skeletons, those are there in the original. They were horribly pixelated, but they were there. Just skeletons. Hanging from chains. In 1990s Nintendo. Ain't that something? Plus it also just means, like, other people have gotten this far in the dungeon to fight Buzz Outsider. Whatever this is. Moldorm. I don't know, it looks like a giant burger to me. But that means that, like, others have come here to fight Moldorm. And they have died, and someone or something suspended them from chains. Meanwhile, it only takes 2 spin attacks to defeat the entire giant chain of burgers. We have defeated obesity in America. The next boss. French fries in the shape of a dragon. Breathes ketchup at you. Hey, a cello. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten this cello when I was younger. Again, it kind of leads credence to the whole I never really knew how to save thing. Swamp. What are you doing in my swamp? Oh, jeez, the next boss is Shrek. That's worse than French Fry Dragon. Path opens in the blooms. Alright, well, I think we're just gonna cut this off. Oh, never mind, hold on. Exposition first. Can't end it just yet. Hoot hoot. So, did you have a good time in Tail Cave? Wink. Whoosh! That is an instrument of the sirens. I have to admit, at first I did not believe you were real. I mean, why else would there be a 10-year-old boy wielding a sword running around here on the beach? That's kind of why I told you to go to Tail Cave, because I thought you weren't real. That instrument, along with the 7 others in the set, has the power to wake the windfish. You must collect them all. I was instructed to give you directions. By myself. Your next goal is north, in Goponga Swamp. Hoot, indeed. 00 Owl. License to fill. You in on what you have to do. So yeah, just a real quick preview, and we're just gonna leave this here with panicking children. I already pretty much know exactly what's gonna be going on between this and the beginning of the second dungeon, so we'll just have to deal with this and whatever they're freaking out about next time. Hope you enjoyed it. All the usual stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification, leave a comment. Hey, I'm still open to suggestions if you want to hear them. Or if you want to hear... Yeah, if you want to hear your own suggestions. No, I'm still open to suggestions for games to play in the future, is what I meant to say. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll pick this back up again sometime soon.
Goodbye.